my beliefs in the order in the world. I did a lot of therapy. Nell Daly is a psychotherapist and mental health journalist who has treated several patients like Rosie who are experiencing so-called Trump anxiety. And she joins me now. So are you really seeing an uptick in patients since the election results, Nell?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
how many do you see for something like this?
Well, to answer this question, human beings are affected by our social and political climate. And if people are under stress and they feel anxious about the world at large, then they come into therapy to try to treat the stress. And we don't just treat the individual. We can't just look at someone as an individual. We have to actually look at the community and the world in which they are functioning and living.
Okay,
and
so like what kind of age group comes in to see you to talk about their Trump stress? All ages?
All ages. And I would say that it crosses political affiliations.
Oh, are there really Republicans that are stressed out about Donald Trump too?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I definitely get stopped not only in my office and, talk about this in my office, but I get stopped personally about this. People who voted for Trump because they didn't want Hillary to win, but they feel very concerned about the political climate which we're living in now.
Now, are these patients that you already see for other issues, and then during the hour they just bring up Trump? Or are they there mainly to see you for their Trump anxiety syndrome?
Well, there's nothing official called a Trump anxiety syndrome.
I know, I just coined it, so
I just want to say that. Definitely after the election, leading up to the election and then after the election, I saw a lot, I would say especially young women, and again, I practice in New York City and in Connecticut. I saw a lot of young women between the ages, I would say, of like 16 and 30 who were really, really upset.
And what do they tell you when they come sit down on your couch? Are they experiencing physical symptoms? Are they worried? What are they worried about?
I mean, yeah, and we can see how that manifested in terms of all the marches that took place after the election. I mean, people literally took to the streets. They didn't know what else to do with all of their anxiety that they were feeling that he was elected president. So they started mobilizing and going into politics in their own small way.
But what are they experiencing kind of physically and emotionally, and what is it about?
Are you talking specifically after the election?
Yeah, the patients, what do they tell you they're really worried about specifically?
I mean, a lot of them were specifically worried about the fact that Trump was going to be the person who was leading the country and that his policies were going to dictate what their future looked like. And
like what policies were they mainly worried about?
I think a lot of people were very worried about the immigration policies. I think...
So did you see a lot of illegal immigrants that are worried about being deported?
Well, yes, not only do I see people who are of all different ethnic races and in all sort of different stages in immigration, but people who know somebody who also is in some sort of immigration process. And I saw a lot of women who were very upset about the rhetoric and the tenor of Donald Trump and his, when he was running for president, the way some of the things that came out about him and how he feels towards women, some of his beliefs when he was elected president, then showed up in my office saying, how could this actually happen? Haven't we come so far as to not elect somebody who would have these sort of belief systems about women?
So how do you treat someone that has stress about Donald Trump's presidency? Do they meditate? Do they do yoga? Do they have mantras that they repeat when he speaks on television?
Jesse, it's really important not to belittle this point.
I'm not belittling at all.
No.
I'm wondering what the tools that you give them to reduce their anxiety.
Practical measures, but you have to understand that when people are stressed in our society, we're not just facing an opiate epidemic in this country, we're facing a massive mental health crisis. And it cannot be said enough. 1 of every 6 Americans in this country is on psychiatric medication. 1 of every 4 women is on psychiatric medication. $210 billion in lost income was lost last year in the American economy because of mental health issues.
So have you actually prescribed patients drugs to deal with their Trump anxiety?
I am totally holistic, and I do not prescribe. I'm a psychotherapist, not a psychiatrist. And I'm also a mental health journalist, so I look deeply at what's causing people to feel so much stress and anxiety in our country today. And when you take a look at what happened in Las Vegas, when you take a look at what happened in Charlottesville, what people are feeling about the tensions building with North Korea.
No, I agree. Listen, we're living in a very, very dangerous time internationally as well as domestically with the shootings and the hurricanes and things like that. But with all due respect, do you think the generations these days that are coming to see you, do you think they've gotten a little soft when they need to see a psychiatrist to deal with the president?
I don't think that they're just dealing with the president, that they're dealing with the political and social economic times and the political times, the place in which we live. So no, and I want to qualify here. I don't just see young patients. I see people who are in the age ranges of 18 to 65.
Okay.
So, and again, across political affiliations,
All right.
people are stressed, people are worried, and
well, is there? Listen, if the president can do anything to reduce the stress of the country, you just. Let us know, because I know he watches Water's World. And again, Nell, thank you very much for coming on.
I have to say, I have to give it to the president that he is talking about the opiate epidemic in this country, which is great.
Yes, he is. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
An inspiring personal story from a Hispanic immigrant that the Democrats do not want you to hear when we come right back.